The movie begins in one of London's most dangerous neighborhoods, a place where violence has become routine and crime feels like part of daily life. Inside a small apartment, a quiet and introverted teenager named Tom Harvey tries to escape the chaos by burying himself in his computer and music, shutting out the noise of gang clashes echoing through the streets below. At school the next day, Tom moves through life unnoticed, except by bullies who see him as an easy target. His only bright spot is Lucy, a kind classmate he secretly loves but barely has the courage to speak to. When Lucy asks him to help her study, Tom's heart races, but the moment is nearly ruined by Eugene, a cruel troublemaker who mocks Tom in front of everyone. After classes, Tom returns home to his grandmother Nancy, who clearly loves him but doesn't fully understand his withdrawn nature. Frustrated and restless, Tom leaves to meet Lucy for their study session. But when he arrives at the apartment, everything goes horribly wrong. He stumbles into a crime scene where masked criminals are filming a brutal assault. Panicking, Tom tries to escape, but one of the attackers shoots him before fleeing. 10 days later, Tom wakes up in a hospital bed, barely alive. Doctors explain that the bullet hit his phone, shattering it and driving fragments of the device into his skull. Somehow, against all odds, none of the fragments damage vital parts of his brain. Tom is sent home under observation, but something feels off. During a taxi ride, he suddenly senses numbers, signals, and data flowing through the vehicle's electronics. He blacks out, waking later with no explanation. At home, Nancy notices his wounds healing unusually fast, while Tom begins to suspect that the phone fragments inside his head have changed him forever. When Tom visits Lucy, guilt overwhelms him. He apologizes for running away during the attack, but Lucy reassures him that survival was all that mattered. As Tom leaves her apartment, a terrifying sensation hits him. He hears voices, signals, and electronic noise from every device around him, as if the entire city is speaking at once. Back home, Tom's vision fills with glowing digital patterns layered over reality. Every phone, camera, and screen reveals streams of information. Overwhelmed, he collapses. When he regains control, he realizes he can see inside people's phones, including Eugene's. What he discovers shocks him to his core. Eugene was one of the attackers who hurt Lucy. Furious and shaken, Tom tries to tell his friend Danny the truth, but Danny doesn't believe him. At school, Tom confirms it himself by intercepting a video Eugene is sending, proof of Lucy's assault. Rage consumes him, and for the first time, Tom acts, destroying Eugene's phone with a surge of energy. At a party later that night, Tom silently scans the room, identifying every gang member involved in the crime. He doesn't confront them yet, but the seed of vengeance is planted. Watching Lucy tremble at the sight of her attackers finally pushes him over the edge. Tom decides he will protect her, no matter the cost. Using his new abilities, Tom begins hacking phones, tracking movements, and tormenting the gang from a distance. He sends Lucy anonymous messages, promising that whoever hurt her will pay. When she asks his name, he gives himself one, iBoy, a vigilante born from trauma, technology, and rage. Tom's revenge escalates quickly. He traps Eugene and his crew inside a stolen car, overheats the engine, and terrifies them into revealing their boss, a ruthless criminal named Cuts. Letting them escape just before the car explodes, Tom realizes he's no longer just fighting bullies. He's at war with organized crime. With his powers growing stronger, Tom begins dismantling Cuts' entire operation. He destroys electronics, drains bank accounts, plants evidence, and anonymously tips off the police. Criminals across the neighborhood are arrested, and iBoy becomes a whispered legend across London. Halfway through his crusade, Tom starts to question himself. Watching criminals fall feels good, but is this justice or addiction? If you suddenly had this kind of power and saw how broken your city was, would you stop or push even further? Tell me in the comments. Lucy's words haunt Tom when she suggests that a true hero must do more than frighten criminals. Taking that to heart, Tom becomes colder and more strategic. Entire networks collapse overnight, and Cuts loses everything. But with power comes consequences, and Tom doesn't realize how many innocent people are being affected. When Cuts retaliates by ordering mass robberies and electronic thefts across the neighborhood, even Nancy becomes a victim. Seeing public suffering caused by his war forces Tom to step back. He waits, allowing criminals to expose themselves again before striking harder than ever. Meanwhile, Cuts reports to his superior, Elman, a powerful crime lord who decides to personally deal with iBoy. Elman orders Tom's grandmother kidnapped and confronts Tom directly, revealing he knows everything. Ellman offers Tom a deal: join him or watch Lucy die. Under threat, Tom is forced to help Ellman track Lucy, discovering she's been captured by Eugene's gang after being released from prison. Betrayed by Danny, who exposed Tom's identity, Tom agrees to transfer money to Ellman while secretly alerting the police through Lucy's phone. At the warehouse, Lucy turns the tables when the police briefly arrive and leave. She disarms her captors but can't bring herself to kill them. Before she can escape, Ellman arrives with Tom, and chaos erupts. Phones explode, criminals fall, and Lucy fights back alongside Tom. Outside, Ellman brutally beats Tom with an iron bar, mocking him and resisting his sonic attacks. Lucy intervenes but is knocked unconscious. Enraged and broken, Tom rises one last time, unleashing a massive electromagnetic scream that obliterates Ellman in an instant. Exhausted and nearly dead, Tom collapses. He later wakes in the hospital beside Nancy, alive but forever changed. The city is quieter now. The gangs are gone. The legend of iBoy fades into rumor. Back home, Tom rejects Danny's apology and blood money, realizing revenge never truly answered his pain. He chooses something better: healing. On a rooftop terrace, Tom prepares a simple dinner for Lucy. No powers, no masks, just honesty. The two share a quiet moment, finally free from fear. London still hums with signals and noise, but Tom listens differently now. Not as a god, not as a weapon, but as a boy who survived. And somewhere in the digital shadows, the name iBoy becomes a warning, not of fear, but of consequence. If you enjoyed this cinematic recap, make sure to like, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell so you'll be the first to catch more intense stories like this. Drop your thoughts in the comments, share this video, and keep watching great animation recaps for more powerful movie journeys.